I would say in the mid-1930s, I can remember when I really took more note of what was happening. I would have been about 6 years old in 1937, and I can remember coming to St James Park, and it was Exeter City versus Mansfield. The score ended 4-0 to Exeter, and the goal scorers were Harry Bowl 2 and Pope 2. The following fortnight, another journey to St James Park against Northampton Town this time, and lo and behold, Exeter scored another 4 goals. The goal scorers were identical to the scorers against Mansfield, and the score this time was 4-1. How did I get to Exeter? My father had a garage in Bovey Tracy, and at that time the taxi side of the business, more often than not it was 1 or 2 cars, and I was the little boy that could sit in the middle of the back seat of the taxi. So that continued into 1938-39. City didn't always win. They were more often than not in the bottom half of the league, but it was all very exciting times. Carrying on from that, during the war years I went to school at Crediton as a boarder, but football was frowned upon. We were only permitted to play rugby. But having been to Exeter City a few years earlier, when the games restarted after the war, I hopped off to Exeter City on a Saturday afternoon on the number 7 bus from Crediton to Exeter, sprinted from the bus depot in Paul Street to the city ground, and managed to see a few games when I could safely get away from the school by walking down the town without my school cap on to get onto the number 7 bus. At that time would have been George Wardle, who came to City in 1939 from Middlesbrough. He was an outstanding right winger. He would have only played the 3 games in 1939. Then, of course, the war started. But during the war years, he was the only player to get into the British Army football team who was a non-international. All the other players were internationals. They'd either played for England, Scotland, Wales or Ireland. The team was usually made up of all these internationals, but George Wardle, more often than not, also got in the team. Well, going back first of all, I can remember one instance going to St James Park when I was about 4 or 5 years old. But the only thing I can remember a City player being knocked into, or shoulder charged and knocked in. I'm sure the ground was surrounded by iron railings at that time, and probably they would take, if you had iron railings on your properties during the war, the railings were taken away to be melted down for making whatever.